After you've purchased your K-line irrigation system from your dealer, the first step you'll take in installing the system is to review the engineering plan the dealer has given you. The engineering plan is specific for your application needs. Your plan will show the distance between each pod and the length of your feeder line. Next, roll out your tubing. You can do this in many different ways. You can unroll your tubing by hand or use a spool-out reel. You must be careful not to twist the tubes when unrolling or placing the pods. When the pods are in place, it's necessary to assemble the sprinklers and attach the sprinklers to the tubing. First, drill a hole into the pipe with a 9/16 spade bit using the green line or lines as a guide for the placement of the hole. Next, place the tapping saddle over the hole in the U-bolt that is molded into the pod. Check the saddle before assembly to make sure there is a rubber O-ring on the saddle. Now, align the saddle with the hole in the pipe and tighten the nuts over the washers. It is important to tighten each side evenly so that the saddle is parallel to the bottom of the pod. If this is not done properly, the adapters and sprinklers will be at an angle, and the discharge stream will not clear the top of the pod. Tighten the adapter and sprinkler assembly into the saddle. You can easily hand tighten the sprinkler head into the riser. There are different sprinkler options available. Always refer to the dealer plan to determine the proper sprinkler head.
It's not.
Next, you'll start flagging the pod locations in your field. Measure the distance between each pod with a measuring wheel or a tape. A fast and easy way to place the pods is to hook the lip of the last pod and slide it to the locations. Your plan will show the distance between each pod and the length of your feeder line. When you install the fittings on the tubing, it's important to start with a straight cut on the tube. A clean cut ensures proper seat. Once you've properly installed the fitting into the tubing, thread the fitting over the pipe and use a pipe wrench to tighten them. Once your pod line is complete, connect the pod line to the feed line with a quick connect fitting. Next, turn the water on to flush out any foreign objects out of the line. Now you're ready to start irrigating. Should you have any questions regarding your K-Line irrigation system, contact your dealer or go to the K-Line website for more information. When moving your K-Line system, all you need to do is hook on to the end of the line and start pulling parallel to the line. You always need to pull it on the side you plan to irrigate. In this example, you will always be driving to the side of the larger numbers. Notice how you drive over the feeder line, which causes a loop to be made. When you move from shift 2 to shift 3, you'll go down the line until you have a few pods following you, and then you can swing out to your next shift. You need to jog over a few feet wider until you cross the feeder line to get the last pod properly aligned when you get to the end of the field. Notice how this takes the loop out of the feeder line. If your feeder line is long and you have a problem getting the feeder line to follow you, you might need to manually move the line in front of you once you get past the riser. This usually isn't a problem if you shift a few feet wider each time you shift over. When you've gotten all the way across, you will need to move the K-Line system back to the first shift. An easy way to do this is to disconnect the feeder line from the riser and pull it along to the back side of the pod line. Pull it all the way to the end of the line. Next, hook onto the end of the pod line like you did before, but on the side you are going to be moving it to. Proceed down the line like before, but once you have a few pods following you, you can then drive to the other side of the field and then pull the line straight down to your first set. Then all you need to do is to attach the feeder line back to the riser, and you're ready to start irrigating again.